Have you heard of a fanboy before, or a fangirl? A fanboy or a fangirl is somebody who's like has a celebrity or has a hero, and that person can do no wrong. They see that person as godlike. They see that person as superhuman. They see that person as being flawless. That's what a fanboy is. That's what a fangirl is. There's a saying: you should never meet your heroes. And there's a reason for that, why you should never meet your heroes. A lot of the time is we put people who we don't know properly. We put people who we've never met. We put them on pedestals. Yeah, we put them on pedestals. Basically, what we don't know of someone, we fill the void with what we believe them to be, or what we would wish them to be. And that could be a problem, because number one, a lot of people don't know what type of pedestal you've put them on. Maybe that person's acting a certain way, like, acting flawless, acting perfect, and you perceive them to be a certain way. Or maybe you just don't know someone and you just perceive them to be a certain way, but it's not really fair to put someone on a pedestal, because if that person doesn't live up to your expectations without even outwardly or purposefully disappointing you, they can disappoint you and therefore be rejected by you without even knowing why. It's because you put them on a pedestal. Now, the reason why they say you shouldn't meet your heroes is because, let me give you an example. I remember many years ago, let's say about 10 years ago, I used to recruit people for nightclubbing up West End, Mayfair. Anyway, as this one night's finished, guess who I see? In fact, I'll probably see him in the nightclub. I see a footballer. I see a Premier League footballer. Yeah, this Premier League footballer was an international footballer as well. And I was like, kind of like, what I mean? Because I like this footballer. This player, he's a good player. Yeah, he was a striker. He was played for Ghana. He was a Ghanaian international. Played in the Premier League. So yeah, he's got his own entourage around him, probably about 10 or 15 people. But it so happened that one of the entourage I knew, I went to college with. So it's all good. I'm not approaching anyone, I'd keep myself doing my own thing. But at the end, when I was leaving, the funny thing is, I see the footballer with his entourage. So I said, you know what, let me take this opportunity now just to congratulate man, give him his credit where credit is due, and just go about my way and move on. So anyway, outside the nightclub, going up to I walked up to him, said his name. I ain't gonna say no names here. You know what I mean? Said his name, and I couldn't believe the reaction I got. The look. It was like a look of disgust. I'm not lying. It was like, who are you to step up to me? Who are you to walk up to me? The guy looked me from head to toe, and I was like, whoa. The bodyguards start gathering to me like I'm about to attack the guy, and I'm thinking to myself, whoa. But the guy who I went to college with, he said, no. Must have said something. He said something, obviously the language I didn't understand, Ghanaian or some dialect I didn't understand. Said something to him like I could see the hand gestures like, no, it's cool, man, it's cool, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And then me and the guy, he kind of like ushered me away, and me and him just started talking, just started catching up. And that was that. But then to me, I was like, this is a footballer, right, who I used to look up to. He was an international superstar. You know what I'm saying? Ghana. And I used to look up to the brother. When he played in the Premier League, I was like, yeah, decent. But my word, the look of disgust when I went to congratulate him, and you know what I mean? That's why I say you should never meet your heroes, fam. And that's why you should never put people on the pedestal. A lot of the times when we enter in relationships with people, when we're getting to know them, and we haven't yet filled in the blanks, sometimes we can put people on the pedestal, without knowing them. and I would definitely warn you against doing so. When you're getting to know someone, take your time to get to know them. It takes a long while to get to know someone. It could take maybe, I would say, 12 months minimum to kind of understand how someone is. When you're getting to know someone, you got to look at it as a journey. You know, don't try to rush anything, because true friendships will be tested with time. True relationships are always tested with times, and there's always a honeymoon period. There's always a love bombing period where the person who you're dealing with is only showing their best face. You're also showing your best face. You're putting your best foot forward. They're putting their best foot forward. You know, it's only in time, when the person gets more comfortable and you get more comfortable around them, when they will start revealing more of themselves. And then it's for you to see if there's any red flags. You know, putting people on a pedestal is not a good thing to do. Don't do it. It will set you up for hurt. It will set you up for disappointment. No one can live up to idealization. You know what an ideal is? Yeah. An ideal is something that's imaginary. It's like a concept. It's like the perfect situation. It's the opposite of what's real. So it's real versus ideal. You know, ideal is basically a marriage that never ends in divorce. A family that never breaks down. A relationship that continues forever. A job that you never have to move on from. Situations that you never have to move on from. There's many ideals, things how we want them to play out, but when we live for an ideal, we just set ourselves up for disappointment, because we live in the real world, and in the real world there's many different situations and circumstances that we have to prepare for, and we have to maneuver around, and have to come to that we have to come to terms with. You know, we have to live in the real, not the ideal. You understand? Because the ideal is basically perfectionism. There's no such thing as being perfect. It doesn't exist. But being real exists. Being real, what happens in the real world? Murder, thefts, abuse. It's not nice. Yeah? That's the real world. Things, you know, starvation, poverty. These are things we have to deal with and maneuver around. And if we pretended that they didn't exist, then we'll never be able to deal with it. So when you pretend that someone's flaws don't exist, if you try to ignore them, you're never going to be able to deal with it, you know. And by putting someone on a pedestal, looking up to someone and you don't know anything about them, would only set you up for disappointment. Trust me, the best thing you can do is just get to know people slowly, if you have the opportunity to. And if you don't, believe me, they're just human like me and you. Nothing makes someone special because they may be on TV, because they have lots of followers on social media, because someone might be more popular than you. No one is more special than you. We're all the same. We're all made equal. Even royalty is not special than you. No. Someone who has more money is not more special than you. No, nothing is more special than you. We are all equal. We are all on the same level. You know, we all need to exist together in order to live in harmony. You know, in order to live in a universal balance, everything needs to live in harmony. You know, and that goes for people as well. There's a saying I heard the other day. It's like, if you want equality, then there should be equality for all. And it's true. It's very true. You can't have equality and only some will benefit. Everyone has to benefit. So we have to come to terms with the reality of that. You know, we have to come to terms with reality and get out of idealism and get out of perfectionism, because perfectionism doesn't exist. It only sets you up for disappointment. If you want to take action, if you want to move forward, it's all about having real objectives. Because having an ideal objective, you'll sit in there and you'll be planning and planning and planning and planning and planning, and there'll be no action. Yeah. And sometimes when you want to move forward, sometimes you've got to see things as a working document. You just got to go. You know, you just got to go and learn on the go. Deal with things. Be adaptable. Evolution is about being adaptable. And if you don't bend, you're gonna snap. You're gonna break. You know. Real versus ideal. It's all about real versus ideal. It's not about idealism, it's about realism. Dealing with reality. And putting people on a pedestal. It's living in a fantasy. Come out of your head. Come out of your head. When you're dealing with people, come out of your head. Yeah, come out of your imagination. See situations for what it is. Assess things. You know, action speaks louder than words as well. Action speaks louder than words. If you want to take people seriously, follow their actions. Not what they say, but what they do. And that will help you from putting people on a pedestal. That's a quick one. I'd say a quick one, but my videos are never quick. I can go on. But I just like to share certain views and opinions that I have, that I used to get me by. Just want to share it with some of you. You know, for those of you who may be, you know, living life, want a few answers, or you live in life and sometimes the answers is not there for you. You know, there's so many situations that can happen in life. There's so many examples of things that we go through that if I could give a little bit of advice for, if it can help someone to make a decision and move forward and make life a little bit easier for them, then I'm grateful for it. You know, don't care if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. You take something out of this. If I can meet the expectations of just one person, if one person takes something from these videos, then it's a job well done. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon.